everybody, it's Belinda. Is the proper way to go about leaving a job after being offered the position if I realize it's not going to be a good fit, but still want a good reference and to leave on good terms? Ouch. Because it's kind of hard to get all that in for you. If you were offered the job and you realize maybe after you've been working there 90 days, this isn't a good fit for me, they're not going to give you a good reference. They may not give you a bad reference, but they're not going to give you a good reference. You weren't there long enough to get this great reference. And they're probably going to be a little upset that you only stayed 90 days. So when you work for an employer, a new employer, when you go in, you're not obligated to be anything but truthful. That's it. You're obligated to be truthful. Don't expect loyalty from a place that you haven't been loyal to. If you've only been there 90 days, they're not going to be loyal to you and give you a great reference. You were only there 90 days. I don't even know her. Now, I will say this. If you're offered a job, and let's say you accept the job, but before you actually start, so you offer a job, you accept it, you want to give your old job 2 weeks notice. As you're, going by that, you think, you know what? I don't think I want to take that job after all. What should I do? To thy own self, be true. If you know this new job is not it, you only owe them the truth. I know I accepted this position, but after much thought, I decided this isn't the direction that I want to go in. And, unfortunately, I won't be able to accept the position. That's it. That's all you owe them. You owe them that, the truth. You say that and you go on. You don't owe them any more than that. So if you're offered a job, even if you accept it, and before you actually start, you decide, you know what, this doesn't feel good. I don't think I don't want to work here. You can say, again, be honest, be truthful. After some thought, I've decided that this isn't the job for me. Now, a month or a year later, and you think, oh, maybe I will give it, that bridge is burnt. So don't try to loop back around and say, well, I'm going to try one more time. No, consider that burned down. But you don't owe them anything more than that. How many years can a company legally search your background? Do you have something on your background that you're worried about? If you do, the best way to answer that is to be honest when they ask you. Different companies go back different years. Some people go back 3 years. Some people go back 1 year. Some people go back 5 years. The other thing too is, depending on what type of your company you are going to or asking for a background check, if they see something on it, doesn't mean that you're going to be disqualified. A lot of times it depends on what that something is. So a good example, in the social service field, we do background checks. If you have something on your background check where you've gotten a fight, injured a child, anything of that nature, you're automatic no. Even if it's been 5 years ago or 10 years ago, it's an automatic no. It's a lot of hoops you have to jump through to get them to approve that. But if you had got arrested for writing a bad check or even a DUI, that didn't involve someone getting hurt, but maybe you were drinking and you got pulled over and you got a DUI and it's on your record, that would not keep you from getting offered the job. So it depends on what's on your background check. The clients that I work with, I always ask people up front, can you pass a background check? And a lot of times, initially, everybody says yes, until they kind of get to know me, and then then more of the truth comes out. Well, back in such and such, I had this and I had that. And the reason why I ask that question, not interviews, not people that I'm hiring, but people that I'm training. The reason why I ask, do you have something on your background check, is because I can help you answer that question. If an employer asks you about your background, I can help you answer it. The easiest answer that I always like to tell people to start with is that was 10 years ago. If it was 10 years ago, that was 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 12 years ago. I was young and dumb. I'm not the same person I was then. I've matured. All of that is things that you can say, because 10 years ago, a lot of us hopefully have matured and aren't doing as many silly or childish things as we once were doing. So you can say that has to do with backgrounds too. You know, a lot of times you can say, you know, that was when I was in high school. When I was a child, I'm grown. So I might have gotten a fight when I was in high school or right out of high school, still young and hot-headed, and you couldn't tell me anything, but that's not my situation anymore. That's not my case anymore. So that's some of the things that you can explain away on some of your background. But I always tell people up front, if somebody's helping you try to get a job and you have a background, or you have something on your background, or maybe you got fired from all your jobs, that is something you need to tell the person that's helping you so they can help word that for you when you're asked that on an interview. Is it okay to ask an interviewer about challenges I might face in the first 90 days of employment and how successes and failures might be measured? So I'm going to read it again because this is a good question that you can ask. Is it okay to ask an interviewer about challenges that you might face in the first 90 days of employment and how successes and failures might be measured? Absolutely. That is a great question to ask in an interview, because it gets the interviewer talking as well. You want to know what they think or they define as success and failures, because what you define and what they define could be two different things. So you want to ask that question outright. That's a wonderful question to ask an interviewer. Can you tell me what success and failure looks like in this position? What do you deem successful and failure? Let them tell you. They tell you that because you want to ask that in an interview, because in the last question, they usually say, anything else you want me to know? You know, HR people, we love to say that. You have anything else you want us to know, or that could help us make better determination in the decision to see if you're the right candidate? You use those words that they said would be a success right back at them. So if they said time management, you know, you have to have time management to be successful in this position, then that's what you come back with. If you have it. I mean, hopefully you do have time management skills if you're going to say it. So whatever they say you need for success, that's what you want to, hopefully you have that, and that's what you say back to them. See you at the next video.